On the night of August 15, 2007, at approximately 8:30 p.m., I was traveling west from Saugerties on Route 212 to Woodstock to meet my fiancée Gina for a late dinner at the Red Onion restaurant. About 5 minutes before I arrived, I received a call from a total stranger named Dawn. Dawn proceeded to tell me that Gina was in an accident, and at that moment my heart dropped right out of my chest. I lost cell signal right after that. It was all I could do to get there and see if she was all right. That 5-minute drive was the most terrifying experience of my life. I had no idea what to expect, what I would see, or what condition she would be in. As I pull up to the roadblock at the accident scene, I immediately notice that she is standing. I breathe a sigh of relief and take my first breath in what feels like over an hour. I go right to her and ask if she's okay. She is very shaken up, crying with an airbag bruise on her forehead, and understandably a little hysterical. I ask what happened. She tells me that the Dodge Durango had veered directly into her lane, leaving her with no option other than a full head-on collision. The accident was so bad that both cars were totaled and had to be flatbedded away. Miraculously, Gina was not killed or even seriously injured. The paramedics bandaged her head and she went home to rest. That is a rarity. Most people are not lucky enough to say that. The other driver was also lucky. She had not a scratch on her. But she went to the Ulster County Jail. She was intoxicated by almost twice the legal limit. Before you leave this room today, I would like to persuade you to never operate a motor vehicle under the influence of alcoholic beverages. Each year, 1.5 million people are arrested for drunk driving in the United States. Of those, 500,000 are officially convicted for repeat offense. As a rule of thumb, 50% of first-time offenders become second offenders, and 80% of the second offenders become multiple offenders. These individuals, when arrested, have on average a blood alcohol content of 0.18%, which is over twice the legal limit in most states. Why do Americans drink and think that it's all right to drive after drinking? This is foolish and unacceptable behavior. And every age group, from young adults to seniors, does this. This is a serious problem. Let me prove it to you with some more statistics. According to the National Highway and Traffic Safety Administration, this year, 10,839 people will die in drunk driving related crashes. This equates to one person every 50 minutes. California leads the country with the most alcohol-related fatalities at 3,434. Texas follows a close second with 3,382. Let me illustrate a scenario for you. You're at a party or a bar, maybe a picnic, and there's beer, wine, maybe some vodka. Everyone is socializing, having a great time, catching up, laughing. You're enjoying yourselves, thinking nothing of it. The good mood continues for a while until it starts getting late. Then the vibe and excitement starts to lull. People begin leaving. Not everyone is inebriated, but conversely, not everyone is sober either. Yet some are preparing to get into their cars and drive themselves home. Studies have shown that alcohol lowers your inhibitions. It might even relax you or loosen you up. But alcohol also impairs reaction time. It It reduces your coordination. It causes drowsiness and slows your reflexes. You might feel fine, but in actuality, you are not 100% sharp, alert, or aware. And because you've been drinking, the likelihood of you getting into an accident are much higher. According to Mothers Against Drunk Driving, 1 in every 3 motorists will be in an alcohol-related crash in their life. Drinking establishments are open every single day of the year. Bars are open daily, and people drink at bars any day of the week. Or they'll gather with others at events and consume alcohol. How can we prevent people from drinking and driving? Well, here's a few ideas. 1, we need to educate. As cliche as that sounds, we need to educate others about the effects of alcohol on the body and combining them with driving. Number 2, we should practice the act of collecting car keys beforehand if you're having a get-together at your home. It is much easier to rationalize this at that point rather than later on after everybody is drunk. Number 3, you should always have a designated driver. This carries a lot of discipline, though. And it doesn't mean you can allow yourself 1 or 2 drinks. 4, discourage. Although it might feel awkward and uncomfortable to speak up, you must prevent and discourage a person that is visually intoxicated from driving. It may save a life. Number 5, interlock devices. Just like the safety switch on a pistol prevents a gun from firing by accident, an interlock device will prevent you from starting your car if it finds that you are over the limit of intoxication. Basically, it is a breathalyzer built into your ignition. And I think, personally, all cars should be made with them regardless of cost. And a law should be passed. Just consider the consequences of drinking and driving. Jail time, fines, revocation of your driving privilege, maybe even loss of employment. Employers have been known to let people go for DWIs. These should be enough to motivate you not to drive drunk. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like you to imagine yourself in the shoes of a person who just left a friend's house after a few harmless beers. It's late, you've worked all day, and you get in your car, turn on the radio. You've only got a 10-minute drive home. You close your eyes for a split second, and when you open them again, there are flashing lights and sirens and a woman screaming. Paramedics tell you that you've been in a bad accident, but you're alive. Unfortunately, the driver of the other car, which is the family that's on their way back from the movies for a fun night out, that driver is dead. Can you feel the gravity of that? Can you imagine being held responsible for that? To me, that's absolutely terrifying. Later that night, you will be charged with DWI and probably manslaughter. This will be the darkest time in your life, guaranteed. I am vehemently against drunk drivers. I don't think it's cool or funny or even smart. I could have lost someone very dear to me that night in Woodstock. And I believe it is our obligation to speak up or act if we see others about to act irresponsibly, carelessly, or recklessly. Most of you here today are probably going to go out and celebrate the weekend tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, school's almost finishing up, and summer's right on the corner. I ask you, Please be careful and think twice before getting into that car. And see that others don't make that terrible mistake either. Our families and lives, as well as relationships, are too precious to disregard. Remember this: drinking kills driving skills. Don't make the mistake. Thank you.